In this video, I'm going to show you my complete process of creating an article from start to finish using ChatGPT. So let me jump onto my computer screen and let's get started. All right, so here we are on my computer screen and I've opened up ChatGPT over here. So the first thing that we'll need is to have a topic for your article. Now, I've actually already chosen a topic for an article. This is basically for one of my clients' website, and the topic is basically trying to understand what is the right temperature for frying chicken. Now, this website deals with all kinds of recipes, and one of the recipes that they want to create is frying chicken. And what they want to share with their audience is what is the right temperature to fry chicken, right? So the first thing that we want to do is create an outline for the article. We'll be taking ChatGPT's help to create an outline, and then we're going to go ahead and fill in the information using ChatGPT once again to create the rest of the article. And I'm going to show you the exact prompts that you should be using over here. So first, I'm just going to paste the topic over here, just make this title, just do a little bit of a formatting. This can serve as our title. I'm just going to create some space and I'm just going to put in our outline over here. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. I'm going to start a new chat. And there are multiple prompts that you can actually use. You can use various tools like AIPRM, and that does help you a bit, but the process that I'm going to show you over here is something that I've found most success with, is the process that has actually worked for me, irrespective of the niche, irrespective of the topic of the article. And that's the reason I'm sharing this process with you guys today. And it's pretty straightforward to remember as well. So here's what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do. So I'm just going to type in. So the first prompt that I'm going to provide is, I'm creating an article on the topic of right temperature for frying chicken. Here you can just enter your own topic. Please create an outline for this topic. So I'm just going to press enter and let's see what happens. Sure enough, ChatGPT is able to come up with a few subtopics for our article. Why temperature is important in frying chicken, optimal temperature range for frying chicken, factors that can affect the temperature, methods for measuring frying temperature. Now, the one thing that I'm doing over here when I'm reading these subtopics is I'm trying to gauge how relevant they are to our main topic, and the main topic over here is the right temperature for frying chicken. And it seems like most of these, why temperature is important for frying chicken, is relevant. Optimal temperature, well, that's definitely relevant. Factors that can affect frying temperature, again, very much on point with the main topic. And methods for measuring frying temperature. If somebody is frying chicken, then they definitely want to figure out ways to measure the frying temperature for chicken, right? So all of these subtopics are very much on point, but these are just 4 subtopics, and in some cases, all these subtopics might not be relevant, and you may want to come up with more suggestions. And in that case, what we want to do is just provide it with another prompt, and this is the prompt that I'm going to provide next. So the next prompt that I'm going to provide is, are there any other subtopics that we can cover in this outline? So I'm going to press enter. So it has come up with a few additional subtopics: health considerations when frying chicken, regional variations, common mistakes. That seems pretty relevant actually. Other types of fried chicken. If you feel that you don't have enough subtopics or outlines to cover in your article, you can actually continue this process. And I'm just going to repeat the steps once again. Okay, so it has come up with a few other subtopics. Different cuts of chicken for frying, best oils for frying chicken. That's perhaps an interesting one. Seasonings and coatings for fried chicken, safety precautions when frying chicken. All right, so you get the gist of what we're trying to do here. We're basically asking ChatGPT to come up with various outlines that we can include in our article. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do over here is go through all these subtopics and just pull out the ones which we think are the most relevant and rearrange them in a manner that we think would give our article a logical flow. So I'm just going to go back to my Word document and I'm just going to copy and paste the subtopics that I think are the most relevant for this article into this Word document right here. So I'm going to pause the video over here and I'll just copy and paste the subtopics and come back. All right, so what I've done over here is copy and pasted all the subtopics that I think are relevant for the topic of this article. And I've just chosen the ones which are directly related to our main topic, which is the right temperature for frying chicken. Now, a couple of things that you can do over here, and this is completely optional. Sometimes some of the subtopics might not make sense. For example, why temperature is important in frying chicken. Now, obviously we know that temperature is important, but what it is trying to say over here is how temperature affects the texture and flavor of fried chicken. So basically what I'm trying to do over here is revert some of the subheadings that it has provided into something that makes more sense to the end user. And this is going to come from your own experience of the niche. And so what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to call it Science of Frying Chicken, or you can just call it Importance of the Right Temperature for Frying Chicken. That's also completely fine. It's completely up to you. And again, this is an optional step. The other thing that I would also recommend is to think of yourself as the audience member. Think of what are some of the challenges that you're facing and what are some of the things that you may want to know. So step in the shoes of your audience and think of some of the things that you may want to know and cover those subtopics on your own, whether or not ChatGPT provides those as subtopics. So one of the things that I feel should be covered over here is how to know whether or not chicken is done, right? So I don't think that is covered over here. So I'm just gonna type that in over here. So how to know when fried chicken is done. And some of the things that often work very well is common mistakes or tips on how to make something better. These are some of the subtopics that generally work very well. So I'm just going to include tips for frying chicken properly. All right, so basically now we have a rough draft of an outline that we want to cover for our article. Now we're going to go back to our ChatGPT chat over here. And here what we're going to do is ask ChatGPT to write an introduction for this article. So here's the prompt that we're going to provide. Create a short introduction for the article on right temperature for frying chicken. Dead simple, very straightforward. So I'm just going to press enter over here. Fried chicken is a classic comfort food that is loved by many people around the world. Temperature plays a crucial role in ensuring blah blah blah. In this article we'll explore the temperature range for frying chicken. Perfect. This looks like a great introduction. I might just choose to edit it further, but I'm just going to copy and paste it right over here. And here I'm just going to make some changes. However, achieving especially when it comes to the right temperature. I'm just going to press enter. This is a great introduction right here. And I'm just going to delete this, or maybe just cut it and paste it right over here. Just leave some space for our answer paragraph. We're going to come back to the answer paragraph over here. In this article, we'll explore optimal temperature range for frying chicken, as well as other important factors to consider when. By the end of the article, you'll have all the knowledge and tips you need to achieve the best result for frying chicken. Perfect. So we're just going to delete this and let's just say, so let's get started. And here we're going to cover our first subtopic. I'm just going to copy and paste it over here, remove the bullets and make this as subheading. Optimal temperature range for frying chicken. Perfect. And I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm just going to choose this one over here, optimal temperature range for frying chicken. I'm going to select this, copy it, and just tell ChatGPT to expand on and paste this subheading right over here. Press enter. Awesome. It has already given me a 4-paragraph summary. Once again, I'm just going to copy it from here, paste it right over here. So Command Shift V to remove all the formatting from ChatGPT, or Control Shift V if you're using Windows. The ideal temperature for frying chicken is between this. One thing that I would recommend is every time there are any stats or any facts or figures, I would highly encourage you to go back to Google and verify whether they are indeed correct or not. In this case, I know for a fact that this is the right range, so I'm going to let it be. So I'm going to bold this over here. All right, so what I'm going to do over here is just make some few more edits. So here it's talking about another important factor to consider is the type of oil. Now I know that we have already considered factors that affect frying temperature as a separate subheading, so I'm going to cover that separately. So either I can cut it and delete it from here. I don't want the summary over here. I'm just going to delete this right over here, and this point can actually be considered somewhat later. So I'm just going to cut it and paste it over here, and I will bring this subheading up over here. Again, remove the numbering and make it subheading 2, and I'm just going to break this up into 3 paragraphs so this is easier for the eye to read. Next, we're going to go back to ChatGPT and we're going to ask it to expand on the second subheading that we have chosen, which is factors that affect frying temperature. Awesome. So it's given us a few factors that can affect frying temperature. Again, I'm going to repeat the process. I'm just going to copy and paste it right over here. Command Shift V. And here I'm just going to make some changes to the formatting of the article. And again, I'm going to pause the video and we can come back. So here I've just added the numbering for the factors that ChatGPT provided us with, and I've also made these bold so it's easier for us to read. Some of the points don't really make too much sense, so I'm going to delete that from here. And I'm also going to add in a very quick line over here. There are various factors that can affect the temperature of frying chicken. Some of the key factors are mentioned below. Perfect. And this section is done. So we can move on to the next section. So I'm going to repeat the process for some of our other subheadings as well. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm just going to pause this over here and repeat the process. All right, so I've actually gone ahead and repeated the process for the remaining subheadings as well. And here's what we have covered: the right temperature for frying chicken. Then we have the optimal temperature range for frying chicken, factors that can affect frying chicken, how to tell when fried chicken is cooked to the right temperature, so various few steps of how we do that, common mistakes to avoid when frying chicken, tips for achieving the right temperature when frying chicken. So I think this kind of covers the complete article, and if somebody's coming for understanding the right temperature for frying chicken, this article should actually provide them enough information about what they're looking for. So once we've done this, the only thing that we have left to do is write the answer paragraph. So here we can go back to our article, and what we're going to do over here is ask ChatGPT to simply create a short answer target. So here's the prompt that I'm going to provide ChatGPT with. Based on all the above information, create a short answer snippet on what is the right temperature for frying chicken. Make sure that the answer is shorter than 300 characters in length, because that's the maximum length that is allowed by Google for the answer target. I'm going to just press enter and look at the answer that ChatGPT comes up with. Perfect. So the right temperature for frying chicken is between 162 and 190 degrees centigrade, or 325 to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the size of chicken, the cooking method used. The ideal temperature range ensures the chicken cooks evenly without burning the outer layer. This is not the most perfect answer paragraph, but I think this is a great starting point, and in some cases you may have to work on it further, and in most of the cases you will at least get a good answer paragraph that could work. But if you are a bit of a perfectionist, you may want to make changes to that. So I'm just going to copy it from here and go back to our article and just paste it, Control Shift V or Command Shift V, and just bold it over here so that we have the right answer right underneath it, and we have a beautiful looking answer snippet. And this is basically what you need to do when creating an article. Now if you do a very quick word count, we have an article that is about 1300 words. That's a decent article size, and it took me less than about 20 minutes to create this article. We created it from scratch. We even created an outline using ChatGPT. We wrote the entire article, and within 20 minutes, as I mentioned earlier, this process actually works for most niches, for most topics. All you need to do is just ask ChatGPT to create an outline first, and then you can ask ChatGPT to recommend more subtopics to consider in its outline. And once you have enough outlines that you would want to consider for your article, just put them together in a Word document as we did over here, and then just use ChatGPT to expand on each of those outlines. Copy and paste them over here, edit them, add your own expertise to those points, and in under 20-25 minutes, you will be able to create an article just the way I did it over here. All right, so I hope you found this video very helpful. If you found any value in this video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.